Why is it taking your ex so long to come back? I know that this can be a very frustrating thing for a lot of people out there. Why is it taking so much time? How long should it take? Should it happen by now? All that sort of stuff. We're going to get into why it might be taking so long, and we're also going to be getting into some things that you can do about this. So please stay tuned through to the end. Hey there, it's Clay with modernlove.life. Now, we are talking here about why it could be taking a long time for you and your ex to get back together. It's going to be a really frustrating thing for a lot of people, as we said before. And just to be clear, I want to set some baseline expectations for this whole thing here in place. I know there's a lot of, people out there telling you to play mind games, and they have like a little, $39 ebook or something to sell you that's all about mind games and reverse psychology and all that stuff. And they have these like slick videos and pages and all that stuff that say, hey, discover how to make your ex crawl back to you over broken shards of glass in only 24 hours using this reverse psychology NLP hypnosis script or something like that, right? And hey, if that's your thing, awesome, good luck with that. It's not really been very helpful in my experience and in the experience of my clients. I've been doing this since 2009, and I've seen a lot of people come and go. I've seen a lot of things that have just been sort of like, fly by night, flash in the pan sort of stuff. It doesn't work, but it gives people the impression that this whole relationship thing should be something that should be very easily fixable, within 24 hours or within a week, or within, however long it takes to, use some sort of hypnosis thing or whatever, right? It just gives people a false timeline of expectation. And that's because that kind of stuff sells products, but it's not necessarily realistic. I've worked with people since 2009 when it comes to breakups. And, I've seen people that have gotten back together very quickly. I've seen people that's also taken a lot of time. But if I had to just sort of tell you like a good spread of time that's like, okay, that's a very typical amount of time. It's not surprising to me one way or the other. I'd say 6 to 12 months is a typical amount of time you'd probably have to actively work at this. Not just like, okay, I'm just going to do no contact for 6 months and wonder why we're not back together. But no, like you actually have to work at it, right? And you have to be doing the right things too, not just like, reverse psychology and stuff like that. If you do the right things for that period of time, it would not surprise me if it all worked out. Again, some people can take longer, some people can do it faster, but that's sort of the like, okay, that's not surprising amount of time, okay? You do want to make sure you're focusing on the right things, right? Again, I know that there's all sorts of things out there that could tell you some not so great advice. You might hear things about, reverse psychology, or about how this is all a big power struggle, or, you have to play hard to get, or stuff like that. And, if you want to play that game, you can play that game. That's fine. Like, good luck with that. That's not really my thing, but like, hey, everyone has their own thing, and if that's your thing, hey, more power to you. But in my experience, the thing that's going to make a relationship work is focusing in on the emotional connection. That's why so many of these videos that we do are about emotional connection. If having a great relationship was just about power and just beating your partner and just submission and all that sort of stuff, but that's not the kind of relationship I don't want it, definitely, but I don't think that you want it. Most regular people don't want to, wield power over someone unless they have some like really gnarly psychological scars or something. Sometimes people just hear from some of those other people out there on the internet that that's what it's all about. You gotta have power. You gotta, use reverse psychology. You gotta show that you don't care. You gotta be aloof. You gotta pretend that you're hard to get and all that sort of stuff. But really, that's not what a great relationship is about. So you want to make sure you're focusing on the right things, and at least in my opinion, the right thing to focus on is the emotional connection, okay? And if you're focusing on the emotional connection, you're going to end up with a great relationship. Now again, focusing in on reverse psychology, it could get you a little quick result here or there or something, but it's just going to welcome into your life more mind games, more drama, more cheating, more, high school immature stuff that you probably don't want in your life. I work with people on how to have, grown-up adult mature relationships. And if you just want to have an immature relationship, okay, good luck with that. I wish you the best. I hope you evolve out of that someday. But if that's where you're at, okay, go find some other video to watch. Great, honest, authentic relationships thrive with a strong emotional connection. So you're going to want to make sure you're focusing in on that. The third thing that could be making things last longer is that you're not pushing your comfort zone enough. And this is actually a really important one. This is one that I've seen so often in people that are doing a lot of the right things. They're not pushing their comfort zone enough. By the way, if you like this video, before we get into this, if you like this video, please hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel. Make sure you hit the bell icon while you're subscribing as well too. You would not believe how much this actually helps us with YouTube. You would not believe how much this actually helps this channel grow. So please, if you are enjoying this content, please consider doing that. But when it comes to comfort zones, oftentimes we can end up in a place where things are going, reasonably well. And we got something going on here, we're kind of connecting, but it's not really where we want to be. We're just maybe doing a casual sort of thing, or there's no commitment there or something, but things are, kind of in a, lukewarm, sort of okay kind of place. And, sure, take a breather once in a while for sure. Don't always just be like pushing and pushing and pushing, but, I don't want you to get stuck in some kind of dynamic that's not getting you what you want. So what you really want to do is get in the habit of pushing your comfort zone a little bit from time to time by really just sort of stepping outside of that comfort zone just a little bit. I'm not asking you to do anything crazy, but just a little bit. Like if, you typically just have regular platonic interactions with one another, keep doing that. But then consider just sort of putting a little flirtation in there once in a while just to see what happens. If you do that and you're not going totally overboard, but if you're just adding a little bit of something just to push that comfort zone a little bit, you're going to find out maybe, hey, this whole comfort zone thing was just in my mind. This whole limit of like, hey, we can't flirt, or hey, we can't talk about emotions, or hey, we can't meet up in person or something. You might find out, hey, it was just all in my mind, and they're totally okay with it, in which case, amazing. Your comfort zone just got bigger. You just unlocked new levels of connection that were not available to you before in your own mind. But you may also discover like, okay, maybe there is a little bit of pushback. And if that's the case, now you know specifically what you're dealing with. Like if you try the flirting thing and they feel uncomfortable with it, it's probably due to a heightened level of romantic pressure, and you need to drop that romantic pressure for them to feel more comfortable, getting a little bit closer to you. That can be really helpful because many times people get in this comfort zone and it's like, okay, things are good. They're not exactly where I want them to be, but they're pretty good. What do I do? Well, it's like, okay, well, what's the obstacle? I don't know. Okay. Once we push the comfort zone and we get a little bit of pushback from them, now we know what the obstacle is. In this totally hypothetical example, it's elevated pressure. Anyway, that brings us to the next thing that could be slowing things down, which is that you're just waiting for them to make a move. Now, I know that there's a lot of people out there that have this sort of philosophical viewpoint that like, hey, they broke up with me, therefore they should be the one that asks me to get back together, or they should be the one to make the first move, or they should be the one that does X, Y, Z or something. And, I don't know. Philosophically, maybe that's true. Maybe, in some sort of ideal, perfect world or something, that would be the ideal way that things would go down. But you know what? If it's not happening, it's not happening. And we can't just put everything on hold for some, idealistic sort of thing. At the end of the day, we have to say, okay, hey, do I want this relationship to happen? Yes. Okay. Are they going to make it happen? No, they're not. Okay, so what needs to happen? Well, I need to make something happen here because they're not really going out of their way to do anything to move things forward here, so I need to be the one to do it. Okay, well, let's go ahead and do that, right? So don't just wait for them to make the first move. Don't wait for them to make the next move. If you want it to happen and it's been a reasonable amount of time and it's time for something to happen to move things to that next level, be willing to do that yourself. Be willing to initiate something. Be willing to move things forward. And I think that's really going to help you out a lot. Anyway, if that is something that you want a little bit of help with, we have our course called Connect and Commit over at modernlove.life/cc. It helps you with 7 specific situations. It'll only work in those 7 specific situations. So please make sure you check out the page before you sign up to see if you're in one of those situations or you think you might be at some point in the near future. And it can really help you to turn those into an opportunity for greater connection and bring the two of you closer together. If it sounds like a good fit, we'd love to have you inside. If not, no worries, not going to twist your arm or anything like that. If that's something that you like, we'd love to have you. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching this video. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.